Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack44227TV to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here, and well, I guess it's about time to do another one of these response/rant videos once again, and yeah, immediately since after doing another one for sure, something popped up that gave me enough encouragement to actually do another one of these for sure. So yeah, I guess it might be a massive coincidence that pretty much that I decided to do it for sure. So yeah, but trust me when I say I have every right to actually make this video for sure. So yeah, if you may not recall, right around a couple days ago, by the time this video goes live, pretty much right around on Saturday morning, I was scrolling through Twitter and I was getting myself prepped up around that time for my double feature. Pretty much on both I Know What You Did Last Summer and Smurfs, which I did recently put up a couple of thoughts videos up on my channel as of now for you guys to check out. So yeah, I was scrolling through Twitter when surprisingly enough we actually did get some brand new pretty much announcement and news from Bachmann Trains once again. So yeah, I guess I do find it quite interesting that for the majority of this month, I've been posting nothing, and I mean nothing, but a bunch of response/rant videos on what Bachmann Trains is doing with their Thomas and Friends range for sure. Oddly enough, it's actually becoming a bit of a theme for, of course, this month, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, and you might be wondering to yourself, what could this announcement be for sure? Well, surprisingly enough, during their mid-year announcement that just got unveiled not too long ago, they have officially confirmed pretty much a couple of brand new models that they're going to be releasing for 2026 next year, or longer than that for sure. But mainly, surprisingly enough, it's of course what got us hyped up in the first place. So yeah, they have officially announced they're not only going to be bringing back Knapford Station, but with of course the brand new design and facelift all together. But they have also confirmed that for one of the new models that they're going to be working on, they're officially going to be working on the Flying Scotsman for sure. So yeah, that is of course phenomenal by far, and yeah, given to that announcement for sure, boy, I guess we were really quite thrilled with of course what we've actually got for sure. So yeah, and of course it's that announcement is of course what pretty much what led me to of course make this video in the first place for sure. So yeah. I've got a lot to say about this announcement from what I can gather, and I knew since after pretty much I did my double feature right around not too long ago, I figured now would be a good time for me to finally talk about this subject matter for sure. So yeah, either way, I think we might as well get ourselves into it for sure. And in case a lot of you guys may be wondering on how I feel about this announcement for sure, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am really thrilled to actually hear that for sure. I mean, Don't get me wrong. I think pretty much seeing Knapford Station come back for sure. It's actually a great yes, and trust me, I'll get more into that later on for sure. But of course, with the announcement that Flying Scotsman is of course pretty much going to be made as one of the new models for sure. That is phenomenal by far, and I am indeed hyped as hell for sure. So yeah. Either way, I think yeah, I'm really quite thrilled for the fact that Flying Scotsman is of course going to be made as one of the new Bachmann Thomas models for sure. So yeah, I think it is actually quite fitting that I should actually mention that for sure. And yeah, currently as of now, based on the announcement that we actually got, we haven't actually got a confirmed model being worked on for Flying Scotsman as we speak. All we got right now is, of course, a full-on render of course, what Flying Scotsman is going to look like as a Bachmann Thomas model for sure. So yeah, and I know that actually does happen a whole lot for Bachmann trains whenever they pretty much announce a brand new model for sure. Sometimes they would actually have full-on renders or sketches of course, the models that they're working on for sure. To even screenshots from the TV show as well, pretty much either from the model era or the CGI era for sure. So yeah, and of course, pretty much if anything, once the models get closer and closer to be released, they will have official pictures and stuff of course, what the models are going to look like up close and personal, like pretty much, for example, this Bachmann LBSC 70 Thomas model that I currently got for sure. Yeah, whenever Bachmann would actually get themselves closer and closer to releasing them for sure, they'll actually put up pictures and stuff of what the models would actually look like for sure. And yeah, pretty much if anything, pretty much the payoff will actually be quite well once the models are actually officially released for sure. So yeah, I guess it is something we've came to expect from Bachmann for sure, but seeing the full-on render of course, what Flying Scotsman is going to look like, that I'm not going to lie, is absolutely really great for sure. And yeah, I guess it is quite fitting that I should actually mention this for sure, because if anything, I know a lot of people, let alone Thomas fans, pretty much think that Flying Scotsman is, of course, one character that is made exclusively in the TV show. But what a lot of you guys have been missing out on for sure is that, well, the Flying Scotsman in the Thomas TV show is actually based on the Flying Scotsman in real life for sure. And yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that pretty much out of all the steam locomotives that have actually been around in the UK, let alone be a part of British history for sure, there's no doubt in my mind the Flying Scotsman is, of course, definitely one of those recognizable steam engines that we all know and love for sure, and for good reason from what I can gather. So yeah. Pretty much, if anything, the Flying Scotsman is, of course, pretty much the signature steam locomotive by far that is actually a part of the LNER railway line in all of Britain for sure. And again, pretty much is, of course, the most recognizable one by far, on top of plenty of other well-known steam locomotives in that railway for sure, like the Mallard, for example. So yeah. And of course, what makes a Flying Scotsman all the more recognizable for sure, it's not basically pretty much the way it's represented for, of course, the LNER railway, let alone all kinds of railways in all of Britain for sure. But mainly because of course, pretty much, if anything, it actually has what no other steam engine would ever do for sure, having two tenders. And yeah, I think it is actually for a good reason by far. We've never actually had a steam locomotive actually have 2 tenders for sure. But again, the Flying Scotsman is definitely the one that comes into mind. Of course, that subject matter for sure, with one tender holding coal and another tender basically holding water for sure. And yeah, either way, I think pretty much from what I can gather, yeah, whatever you may think of it for sure, there's no doubt in my mind that the Flying Scotsman has definitely left a massive impact for sure. And normally I could go on and on out of the whole pretty much the history of the Flying Scotsman as a whole for sure. But honestly, I think it would probably take up the whole video for sure, so I highly encourage you actually watch other videos done by other users regarding the history of the Flying Scotsman for sure, including one from pretty much the Unlucky Tug for sure, who actually did a video talking about pretty much the infamous USA tour the Flying Scotsman actually tried to prevail for sure. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. And what? You think the Haggai? Pretty much, you think I would actually say that Swordor Productions would do a video talking about Flying Scotsman? Well, even if he has, well, then I wouldn't watch that. And, well, Swordor Productions, I stand by my point and what I have to say about him, and, well, he needs to go back to having sex with his mom. Can you do that, Swordor Productions? Can you do that for me? Can you go back to having sex with your mom? I think we would appreciate you more if you do have sex with your mom. Now, if only I could say the same thing for Raven Skeleton. But I digress, So yeah, but needless to say, pretty much for the Flying Scotsman as a whole, pretty much there's no doubt in my mind that pretty much it is actually one of the most recognizable pretty much steam locomotives in all of British history for sure. And when it comes to, of course, pretty much the Scotsman's involvement in Thomas the Tank Engine, that too is actually pretty much really quite interesting to note for sure, because let's really face it, I think pretty much we do know Flying Scotsman nowadays through the CGI series for sure, and trust me, I think it's actually really great to see him finally come to life in the TV show, especially showcasing that he is, of course, Gordon's brother for sure, which was actually established pretty well in the original Railway series books for sure, which is actually really quite nice for sure. And I guess a lot of people actually forgot for the fact that pretty much of anything, the Flying Scotsman actually did make a small cameo appearance in the classic model era of course, the TV show for sure, particularly through the episode Tender Engines, where we only see its 2 tenders by far, to which, honestly, I think it's actually really quite nice, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm really glad that they actually include that in for sure. That, I think, is actually on there alongside the City of Turo's small appearance in Gordon and the Famous Visitor for sure, to which, yeah, I think it actually does show for the fact that they do stand by their point in saying that pretty much of anything, Swordor in the world of the TV show for sure actually does feel like an actual real place that you can actually visit for sure. So by showcasing real life steam locomotives in Britain on what they're like on the island of Swordor actually is quite amazing for sure. So yeah. And I guess pretty much if anything that is something that Thomas and the Magic Railroad cannot do for sure. Yeah. Do you really expect that you would like Thomas and the Magic Railroad, basically if they added Flying Scotsman and City of Turo? Well, given for the fact, of course, what's been going on with that Sega film, then I guess it would show that, pretty much of anything, it lacks in realism, because, well, yeah, Thomas and the Magic Railroad is not canon because it's not showing any realism. bear that in mind. So yeah, pretty much of anything, you know that Thomas and the Magic Railroad is not canon because it doesn't have realism, but the other movies actually do have realism. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say on that front. So yeah. But needless to say, I'm actually quite glad that Flying Scotsman has actually made good appearances in both the Railway series books and the TV show for sure. And of course, regardless on that, pretty much, if anything, I guess regardless of course, pretty much his appearance in both the books and the show for sure, it still makes really a great advantage points to actually pretty much showcase some really good merchandise and stuff for Thomas the Tank Engine for sure. That does include Flying Scotsman for sure. Some of which are some of the good old classics, like of course the original railway, the original wooden railway, pretty much. Yeah, the original wooden railway toy from way back in the day. Well, other times very recent for sure, like the recent motorized, yeah, pretty much the recent Trackmaster motorized engines for sure. So yeah. And I guess pretty much of anything on the subject of course, Bachmann for sure. That's another thing I should mention for sure because when you really think about it, pretty much the other model railroading company, Hornby, who actually pretty much does make some models that are pretty much almost on the same scale as HO for sure. They've actually done a good number of Flying Scotsman models for sure. So yeah, and easily pretty much when they used to do the Thomas and Friends range, I guess it is no big surprise that they actually did do pretty much a Flying Scotsman, yeah, pretty much a Thomas the Tank Engine version of Flying Scotsman for their range. And yeah, that alone is absolutely really fantastic for sure, and definitely looks really quite nice for sure. And it really does showcase, of course, what Flying Scotsman would be like if it actually is in the Thomas and Friends universe for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much of anything. That is, of course, absolutely phenomenal for sure. And I guess for the time being, that is, of course, what we got when Hornby used to do the Thomas and Friends range back in the day from Why King Gatherer for sure, but it still looks absolutely phenomenal. I still have yet to actually get one of those alongside some other Hornby Thomas models that I seem to have missed out on for sure. I mean, yeah, I guess if anything, it is still quite interesting because I still stand by my point in saying that out of any Hornby Thomas engines that I currently have for sure, Duck is still basically the only one that I currently have for sure. No one else. So yeah, I never actually have any traces of not just Flying Scotsman, but also Stepney, Bear the Diesel, the pulled out Diesel. Not even Dart, and that's just to name me a few, but hey, regardless, for my Duck being the only Hornby Thomas engine that I currently have, I still think it is actually a really great model for sure, and yeah, I still hold on to it even to this day because of how great it actually turned out. And don't worry about a thing, I am still planning on getting the Bachmann version of Duck later on down the road, so yeah. We're gonna have to wait and see later on down the road when the time is right for sure. So I need to get that out there. So yeah, and of course it's not just the Thomas and Friends range that Hornby used to do that actually has a Flying Scotsman for sure. Pretty much Hornby has actually done a good number of models on Flying Scotsman in general for sure, and I still have to say on top of the Thomas version that we actually got, I have to say the regular version of Flying Scotsman that Hornby has actually made still looks absolutely phenomenal for sure. Actually really looking like the actual Flying Scotsman up close and personal, and they actually did do a great job in, of course, putting that together. And I guess pretty much of anything, not just that, but they also did pretty much they also did an excellent job, and of course pretty much making one version of Flying Scotsman, and of course with both of its tenders for sure, which is actually quite nice. So I guess if anything, it really is quite nice to see Hornby go back and forth in giving pretty much a Flying Scotsman one tender to two tenders, pretty much either way for sure. So I think it's actually a really good balance, I'm not gonna lie. And let's not forget to mention, they've also done pretty much multiple different versions of course, a full-on set of course, the Flying Scotsman for sure, and that alone is absolutely great for sure, and if I would have had the time and money from what I can gather, I would have definitely loved to buy that set for sure, not just for the model itself, but also for the nice coaches that are including in for sure, to which actually does make sense because, well, seeing how it is part of the LNER railway for sure, of course they would actually have some special coaches made for that occasion for sure. And I guess in terms of running the set for sure, well, I guess since it is released only in Britain for sure, I'm probably gonna have to get myself a UK to USA plug adapter in order for me to get it running for sure. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see on that from just for now for sure. So yeah, but either way, I guess regardless of course all that for sure, I'm glad to see pretty much of anything. The Flying Scotsman has been through a whole lot during its history for sure. So I guess by the announcement of course Bachmann finally making Flying Scotsman pretty much as part of their Thomas and Friends range, I'd have to say it's been a long time coming, I'm not gonna lie, and I think they're really pulling off a really great move by far in finally announcing it for sure. That is of course absolutely phenomenal from what I can gather, and I'm excited to see on how it's gonna turn out for sure. So yeah. Either way, I think we've got all the time we need to wait out a bit for sure, because, well, it's just only announced as we speak for sure, so we're gonna have to wait and see later on down the road once they finally work it all out for sure, right up until they can officially release it for sure. So yeah. But I guess until then, I guess the announcement is, of course, what we actually got, and I'm excited as hell, alongside plenty of others for sure. So yeah, now I guess in regards to, of course, Knapford Station that they just confirmed, yeah, I have to say that too alone is another missed opportunity from what I can gather, because of anything, I've owned a good number of Bachmann Thomas destinations that are currently in my hands for sure, with even some that I have yet to actually get for sure. I guess pretty much of anything, Knapford Station is one that I never actually took the time to delve into for sure. So yeah. And again, there's plenty of other merchandise and stuff that are out there for sure, and it is actually for good reason, because out of all the destinations on the island of Sordor for sure, Knapford Station is of course easily one of the most recognizable one out of all of them for sure, amongst plenty of others from what I can gather, like of course Timoth Sheds, Brendam Docks, Maithwaite Station, and that's just to name me a few. So yeah. Either way, I think it is really quite nice, I'm not gonna lie, and it is quite fitting that Bachmann decided to bring back Knapford Station for sure, because if anything, they've actually done it previously with, of course, pretty much with other models for sure. And in regards to Knapford Station, from what I can gather, they actually did make that originally with which was of course the Knapford Station building kit, and I'll admit, I think it actually does look really great from when I actually took a good glimpse at it, and that would have been something I would have loved to have for sure, and yeah, I do felt it was actually kind of a bit of a missed opportunity from what I can gather, because there's a whole lot that you can actually do, of course, that front from what I can gather. So I guess pretty much of anything, seeing them bring back Knapford Station for sure is absolutely really great. I'm not gonna lie, I think that would turn out really quite amazing for sure. And moreover, they have actually updated very recently for sure Twitch. Pretty much when they originally released it back in the day, it was only 2 terminals for sure. So I guess for the new one that we're going to be getting, it's just only going to be 1 for sure, Twitch. I'm not going to lie, it's actually still quite nice for sure. And like I said, it's not pretty much one Knapford Station that is giving us the cold shoulder with that a massive change for sure. No. If we want to see something come back in a brand new way, you gotta make some updates and stuff to not only make it fresh and new for sure, but also pretty much also keep the same charm and likability as how it was originally when it first came out for sure. And yeah. Yeah, and I guess if anything, I do know Bachmann is actually doing exactly that for sure. They are updating Knapford Station for sure, like they did originally with the building kit that they released beforehand. But they're also still keeping the same charm and likability as what they did with the previous one that they've released for sure. And again, pretty much, since I did mention Timothy Sheds for sure, that's pretty much what they did originally from what I can gather for sure. Yeah, they did originally release Timothy Sheds way back in the day for sure, and I'm so lucky to actually pretty much get that pretty much alongside plenty of other Bachmann Thomas stuff at the Greensburg Train and Toy Show back in 2012 for sure. Such great memories. Alongside getting both of the expansion packs sometime later for sure to actually make it how it was in the TV show since Calling All Engines first came out. So yeah, and for it to still stand there, of course, my layout currently, to which of you have seen in my past videos for sure, it really does show, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm really quite glad that I still have that up for sure. And for while I don't have plans to get the updated version of Timothy Sheds for the time being, I'm glad to see that they brought it back for sure, and it still looks just as great as how it looks originally for sure. So I can make the same argument for the new version of Knapford Station for sure. Yeah, it still actually has the same charm and likability as the original Knapford Station building kit from way back in the day, but it still wants to update itself to still make it fresh and relevant, and something that we could actually buy for sure. So yeah. So yeah, I guess either way, on top of course, the Flying Scotsman for sure, I'm really excited to see on what the new version of Knapford Station will have to offer for sure, and who knows, once they actually do come out for sure, I think they might be worth it for me to finally purchase for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, right now, as of this video for sure, pretty much of anything, both of those models that are currently part of the Thomas & Friends range are just only announced as we speak. So yeah, as of now, there's no confirmed price as we speak, and well, all we got right now is just nothing but a bunch of renders as we speak for sure. So I guess later on down the road, we will get some updates and stuff on the works in progress for all these models for sure, right up until they'll eventually come out for sure. So yeah. And of course, currently as of now, the brand new Knapford Station destination is currently slated to come out somewhere around in 2026 next year for sure. While I guess for Flying Scotsman, they did confirm that they'll actually release the Flying Scotsman pretty much somewhere around in late 2026 for sure. So I guess either way, pretty much I think it would be somewhere around either the fall or winter of that said year for sure. given to, of course, what we actually got. So we're gonna have to wait and see later on down the road. And again, we'll definitely get some updates from Bachmann Trains for sure on any works in progress or anything else in particular, right up until they'll eventually get released for sure. So yeah, let's not bug them one big for sure. Pretty much we just gotta be patient and see what happens for sure, because, well, as the old saying goes, patience is a virtue. Hell, there's an entire Thomas the Tank Engine song called Patience is a Virtue for sure. Think about that, people. So yeah, either way, given to all that for sure, my point still stands that I'm really excited for the new Bachmann Thomas models that just got announced for sure. And again, that pretty much carries out my point that I'm getting across for sure regarding, of course, pretty much Bachmann Trains with their Thomas and Friends range for sure. I've stuck with them ever since I actually got pretty much my very first Bachmann Thomas set, which was the deluxe Thomas with Annie and Clarabelle set, all the way back in 2009 for sure. And since then, I've never let go of Bachmann Trains with what they're doing with the Thomas and Friends range for sure. And with each and every single new model that I've been getting year after year after year, I'm always really thrilled with, of course, what they've actually done for sure, and I do want them to keep on going with that for sure. And again, much like with what I said in the past few videos, of course, that said topic, I don't want them to cancel the Thomas and Friends range altogether and just move on to other projects for sure. I do want them to keep on going with, of course, the Thomas and Friends range, given to whatever skill they'll actually work with for sure. And I do want them to grow and evolve with, of course, each and every single new model that we're actually going to be getting for sure. I guess pretty much of anything, the same thing can be said for other companies out there. If they want to keep on going with what they're doing and earn more money, they're going to have to grow and evolve and actually try out new things that they've never actually delved into before, but can still actually keep their customers very happy, so that way they can earn more money, so that way they can make more for sure. So I can make the same argument for Bachmann Trains for sure. I really do want them to keep on growing and evolving for sure with each and every single new model that they'll actually make for the Thomas and Friends range for sure. And as long as, of course, we'll actually pretty much be keeping an eye out for each and every single new one for sure, I say we're going to be in a really great spot, I'm not going to lie. So yeah. I guess right up until the new version of Knapford Station and Flying Scotsman will come out for the Thomas and Friends range somewhere around next year, I think that will give me plenty of time to focus more on getting the other Bachmann Thomas models that are currently out as we speak, especially some of the ones for this year for sure. So yeah, like, of course, a lot like everyone else, I'm still excited for both Sir Handel and Stepney to officially come out for sure, and I do know the 80th anniversary vans are really gonna look great once they finally get released somewhere around later this year for sure. And I'm already setting my eyes on, of course, picking up the Bachmann version of Rebecca at my local hobby shop for sure, So yeah, as long as, of course, I actually keep on earning more and saving my money for sure, I think I should be in good hands, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, but we're gonna have to wait and see later on down the road for sure. So yeah, I guess it's all I can do for the time being, but whatever the case may be, I'm excited to see what Bachmann Trains will have next for their Thomas and Friends range for sure. And again, I do want them to keep on going with it and keep on growing and evolving for sure, so that way we can actually afford to get more of those later on down the road. And to all those people say that Bachmann should cancel the Thomas and Friends range for sure, you guys better start rethinking your life for sure, because, well, the only thing that's pretty much getting canceled on that front, given to that mindset you guys actually thought of, is your brain. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, on that front. And I know Sordor Productions actually did do a video saying that pretty much the Thomas and Friends range is officially canceled by Bachmann. And, well, based on that announcement alone, does it look canceled to you? I don't think so. So, yeah. And like I said, Sordor Productions, you better go back to having sex with your mom. I bet she would appreciate that, hands down, for sure. In fact, no, I'm not going to finish that. Hang on, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you thought I was for sure? Well, not this time, so... But yeah, either way, I guess right up until they'll actually get released, I'm excited to see on what Bachmann will actually do for both Flying Scotsman and Knapford Station for sure, because if anything, yeah, Bachmann has never disappointed me with, of course, each and every single new model for sure, and yeah, regardless of course, some issues I actually find with them for sure, I still think they actually turn out really good for sure, and again, I do want them to keep on going with it, and actually keep on growing and evolving for sure, so I guess for the time being, I'm excited to see on what Flying Scotsman and Knapford Station will do once they come out next year for sure, because, well, pretty much there is still a light at the end of the tunnel for sure, and it's only getting brighter and brighter all the way to not only something good, but also something decent, and of course, something pure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and by all means, what do you guys think of the recent announcement of Bachmann Trains announcing Flying Scotsman and bringing back Knapford Station for their Thomas and Friends range? I would definitely love to know on what you guys think, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and, well, I finally got that off my chest for sure, so yeah, there you go, so yeah, I guess it'll only be a matter of time before something will pop up for me to do another response/rant video for sure, but I think we're gonna have to let time be the judge of that, so I guess for now, I've got plenty of other videos to actually work on for sure. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon.
as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTACTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.